Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, taking a look at our last Power 5 coaching change of this offseason, and it takes us out west to Arizona, where the Wildcats have fired Kevin Sumlin after an abysmal 3 years with the program. You look at this hire, guys, with Kevin Sumlin. When it happened back in 2018, that was his first year out in Tucson. When that happened, I thought it was a splashy hire. I thought it was a hire that could really pan out for the Wildcats. You look at Sumlin, did extremely well at Houston, was mediocre at Texas A&M, got fired there, but produced some solid quarterbacks, some solid offenses, and then had a bunch of very fast starts. 7-0, 8-0 type of starts, and then end up crashing and burning towards the end. And that's really what happened during his time with Arizona, too. I thought that maybe getting Khalil Tate, getting a quarterback that we knew was going to be perfect for Kevin Sumlin's system, I thought that would translate to success early on in his career there. And it didn't. Sumlin went just 9-20 in 3 years with Arizona, 5-7 in 2018, 4-8 in 2019, 0-5 in 2020. Ended his career there on a 12-game losing streak. In 2019, they started 4-1, lost their final 7 games, lost all 5 games in 2020, and it ended with a 70-7 loss to Arizona State. He never beat Arizona State. He crashed and burned at the end, never made a bowl game, never had a winning season. It was time. It was time for Arizona to make a change. The Kevin Sumlin experiment just didn't pan out the way that many thought that it would. We weren't expecting him to contend for Pac-12 titles right off the bat, but we expected him to at least get to a bowl game. He couldn't even do that. So Sumlin is out. We question whether or not he'll find another coaching gig, maybe at the Group of 5 level, but didn't make it to A&M, didn't make it Arizona, Pac-12, many consider to be the worst of the Power 5 conferences. Where can he go now? Who knows? That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the new hire in Jedd Fisch. He is the new head man down in Tucson. He is the new head man at Arizona. And this was an interesting hire, guys. This was not one that I think a lot of people expected. You look at Jedd Fisch, he has no full head coaching experience. The only head coaching experience he has was when he served as UCLA's interim head coach for 2 games. He was UCLA's interim head coach for 2 games in 2017. He won their final game of the season to get the Bruins to a bowl game, coached in the bowl game against Kansas State, and lost. So as an interim head coach, he was 1-1 with the Bruins. But hey, at least he got him to the postseason. At least he got that last crucial win over California back in 2017. Outside of that, though, I don't consider that much experience. That time with UCLA was not why Arizona hired Jedd Fisch. You look at what he's done outside of that, and this is one of the, I think, more well-traveled coaches that we have now in all of college football. This is now one of the more well-traveled head coaches that we have at any level in college football. Listen to some of the former stops for Jedd Fisch. He was Miami, the Hurricanes, their offensive coordinator and quarterback coach from 2011 to 2012. He was the Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL, was their offensive coordinator from 2013 to 2014. He then became the quarterbacks coach and the wide receiver coach at Michigan from 2015 to 2016. UCLA's offensive coordinator in 2017, of course, served as their interim head coach for those final 2 games, as we mentioned, was an offensive assistant with the LA Rams from 2018 to 2019, went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. Remember, Super Bowl 53, where they played the Patriots. And then he was the Patriots quarterback coach just last year in 2020. And of course, that would be a little more impressive and be more exciting had he been coaching Tom Brady. Instead, he coached Cam Newton. The Patriots failed to make the playoffs, but still, he was in New England for 1 year coaching their quarterbacks, and that means that he was on the staff and he was meeting with Josh McDaniels, a brilliant offensive mind, great offensive coordinator up in New England, and of course, Bill Belichick, the best head coach in the NFL, arguably the best head coach in NFL history. So he's well-traveled. He's coached everywhere in the college ranks. He's coached plenty of places in the NFL ranks, Jacksonville, LA, New England. He's worked with some great coaches, Jim Harbaugh, Sean McVay, Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels with the offensive coordinator there. So he's very well-traveled. He knows all the different regions well, and I think that could come in handy maybe when it comes to recruiting. I mean, he's spent time out west, UCLA, LA with the Rams. He go out north in the east with New England. You go down south a little bit to Miami, up north with Michigan. He's been all over the place. He's got connections everywhere, and that could be very huge. And you can't help but wonder, will all these different stops, will all these different experiences, will all these different lessons that Fisch learned from the different coaches and the different jobs, will that translate to success at Arizona, a team that's in desperate need of offensive help and in desperate need of finding a stable and consistent quarterback, something that we thought, at least I thought, Kevin Sumlin could do, and obviously he was unable to do. So that's a million-dollar question. The resume looks great, but now can it translate to being a successful head coach? Again, Fisch has no head coaching experience. You look at the schedule going into 2021, guys, with every new head coach, and we'll say it again and again and again, you've got to be patient. Fisch is not inheriting a stable Arizona program right now. He is not inheriting a good Arizona program right now. If he was inheriting a good one, he probably wouldn't be here. Sumlin would still be here. Remember, 9-20 over the last 3 years. He's going to have to rebuild. And the schedule proves to be very difficult at Arizona State. Remember, they never defeated Arizona State under Kevin Sumlin. At Arizona State, at Colorado, who surprised a lot of people in year one under Karl Dorrell, at Oregon, at USC, and they opened the season against BYU in Las Vegas. Now, BYU might take a step back, still a team that won 11 games last year. So, very, very difficult schedule. Right there alone, that's 5 games that Arizona will probably be underdogs in, and that's not even including the rest of their schedule. So, a bowl game might not be in the cards in year one for 2021, unless Fisch kind of just goes out there and surprises all of us. It's going to be rough, I think, at first. And when you look at the grade we're going to give Jedd Fisch here, we're going to give Arizona the grade for hiring Jedd Fisch. I view it as average. So we're going to give him a C here. A C grade for this hire out in Tucson, out in Arizona. And again, it could be higher for some. It could be lower for some. I look at it and this is not a splashy hire. I'm not saying that every hire has to be splashy, that it has to be some big name. I am slightly concerned that he doesn't have any prior head coaching experience at any sort of level, but I do like the NFL experience. And I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted, a lot of people underestimate, underappreciate, is the fact that he's well-traveled within the NFL as an offensive coordinator or a quarterback's coach or an analyst. And he's learned, again, McVay and Belichick are 2 brilliant head coaches. I'd rank them in my top probably 5 right now of NFL coaches in the league, at least top 10. And he's worked with both of them within the last 3 years. Ever since Sumlin was hired, this is what Fisch has been doing. So that's a big deal. And that's a big deal when it comes to recruiting, and it's a big deal when it comes to just how he learns and how he acts as a head coach. So that, I think, is a big deal. I think learning the region's a big deal. Just a few years ago, he was out at UCLA as offensive coordinator, as the interim, and right after that, he stayed in LA with the Rams. So knowing that Western region, that big recruiting hotspot, California, in the Pac-12, that's going to serve Arizona well, I think, in the long run. So all those things combined, I think we stick here with a C. I think we could have risen it a little bit more had he had some head coaching experience, had he maybe been in the college ranks more recently than the NFL. Again, he's been in the NFL since 2018, but that will pay off, I think, in the long run. But on top of the team that he's inheriting, the schedule that he's inheriting, everything like that, we're giving this Jedd Fisch hire a solid C, solid average, and I hope, genuinely, that it pans out. Very well-traveled coach, very well-respected coach among his peers, both at the college ranks and at the NFL ranks. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him, a guy that has never played college football either. Never played college football, never been head coach in football, but has a brilliant offensive mind, and I do think that he can bring that here to Arizona and slowly but surely start to build this program up, something that, again, we thought Kevin Sumlin could do, but was unable to do. And I do not think this is a Kevin Sumlin 2.0. So, Jedd Fisch gets a C grade out in Tucson. Watch out for the Wildcats over the next few years. Don't expect anything big in 2021, but within a few years, he will have this program on the rise. So guys, thank you so much for watching us here at The Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in that description below too. It's a long and grueling offseason. Everything in that description is to help you get through this offseason. So make sure to go give that a look. I promise you will not regret it. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.